discussion that we normally have every week, but this week it's a little bit different. We've got two people here as our guests who are going to tell us more about something that we talk about every single week, which is Kuwa True Na Trust condoms. They are part of the movement. They're going to tell us about their involvement in it. There's a question we put up on social media a little bit earlier using the hashtag 10over10. You can feel free to answer the question. We asked you, what does safe sex mean to you? We're about to find out. I want to introduce our guests for today. Actually, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in this movement of Kuwa True.
Hey guys, so my name is Stephen Mwangi. Guys call me Moss. I'm a brand influencer for Kuwa True Trust condoms. As a young guy, I got into this because we are all, peer pressure affects all of us. So I was contracted by Kuwa True to just talk to my friends, to my online to my online audience, talk to them about safe sex, what it means, talk to them about life and all the decisions that they take of themselves.
And if you don't mind, when you're not talking about Kuwa True, what else do you do?
So I'm a creative for an ad agency. I write ads for a living.
All right, welcome to 10 over 10.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys. My name is Gadhoni, but online I go as Queen Gadhoni. Before Kuwa True, I used to run, from 2012, I used to run a hashtag called Verbal Intercourse. Verbal Intercourse was basically a conversation on sex, bold conversations on sex, responsible sex. And so from there, Kuwa True came, and I got on board, and now I have a podcast on the same, powered by Trust Condoms. And apart from that, I am a TV producer, a scriptwriter, and an actress.
All right, welcome to 10 over 10. Good to have you here. So let's start with the Kuwa True, because we see the T-shirts, we talk about it every week, but what does it actually mean? What is Kuwa True all about, that statement?
Kuwa True, I think it goes beyond just sex. It goes beyond sex. It's all about expression. There's one person you can't lie to, that's yourself. So it just says you need to be yourself. You need to be bold in who you are, in how you express yourself. It's just a statement of, don't be a fake person, show your true colors, be yourself, Kuwa True.
Okay, how about you?
Yes, it's basically being real to yourself, being true to yourself. And I realize very many young people, especially when it comes to sex conversations, they don't want to be true to themselves because they just want to move with the wind, which is unfortunate because irresponsible sex comes with consequences. There's disease, there's pregnancy. So really it's important that you be true to yourself and you know the importance of protecting yourself and the importance of talking to your partner before you get involved in these things. Yes.
In traditional African society, we haven't always spoken so openly about sex, and I think the fact that we've been talking about Kuwa True, some parents have been like, hey, sex.
It's unfortunate because these kids are having sex. Whether they're going to say it or not, they are. So someone has to teach them. Someone has to be real with them and tell them, if this happens, this is going to happen. If you're going to be responsible about this, this is going down like this. If you're going to get pregnant before you're done with school, you're messing up your future. So really, someone has to say it. And so we're going to just stay behind the door and keep quiet about it. And these kids are getting messed up. Someone has to say it. Yes.
Mas, who kept it real with you?
I think my parents were quite honest with me. In our house, sex isn't a taboo. It's not that it's out there, like you can go have it and stuff, but knowing the consequences, at the end of the day I make decisions for myself as an adult. So my dad kept it real with me. When I was going to campus, he told me like, the stuff like STIs, STDs, AIDS, pregnancy, just take care of yourself as a man.
What's your opinion on, these days we're meeting each other online a lot, more than we are in person. Do you have an opinion about, sort of the whole online dating scene, or how it is that tunakatiana squeezy kwa DM? Things have changed. Do you have an opinion on that?
I think what the internet has done is that it has given people confidence they didn't have. Because someone will DM you and they can't even look at you and say, hey, what's up? Hey, you're beautiful. But because they have that keyboard and the screen, They can just type and say, hey, what's up, I think you're really pretty, but they cannot find you and tell you that. One thing I say about online dating, your safety comes first. As soon as you start talking to this person and you think you're interested in them, meet them as soon as possible, and don't meet them in their house, don't meet them in a secluded place. Make sure you meet them in a public place. Bring friends. They don't have to join you in your table, but they can be in the vicinity, so that if you don't feel safe, you're free to walk out. And you also, this is your time to know if this person is actually real or a serial killer.
Well, hopefully they're real. How about you, Mark?
I think there's a lot of stuff that's going on online. You can find love online. I mean, like, pretty much.
How many here have found love online? Kwa Facebook? Bado? Not yet. We have one. We have one to raise the hand. Okay.
I mean, it's not. Everyone maybe has probably slid in someone's DM at some point, like, hey, what's up? And just as easy as it is to find love online, there's a lot of other things you can pick up online. A lot of creepy people online. There's a lot of... You just have to be safe. Just think twice before you get yourself into any situation.
Speaking of being safe, the question we had asked online earlier was, what does safe sex mean to you? And we got varying responses. Some people were saying, you have to be married, you know, safe sex means that you're in a marriage, safe sex means that you're using a condom, etc., etc. What does safe sex mean to you, Gavin?
I think safe sex really doesn't even mean about getting married or using a condom. Safe sex is you and your partner agreeing that I am okay with having sex. I am okay with having sex like this and not like this at this particular time when I'm ready. Just because you're my boyfriend doesn't mean now you have the right to have sex with me. And to me, that is what safety means. That if I say no, it's a yes. Thank you.
I think you've touched on a very important note. Yeah, because, you know, ladies, we go out, nanunuliwa drink, kwani ndio umetisha? Tumenunuliwa tu, and then this guy starts expecting things that you're not willing to provide. So I think it's very important.
And I think sex is not a tool of trade. So if you want to buy her drinks and you think you want to get sex in return, it's not a tool of trade. If you want to buy her, if you're buying her drinks, you buy her drinks, and that's it.
Amen. Ladies say. All right. Let me take some quick comments on Twitter about what safe sex means to you. Erastus Muhi is saying it means doing it when you're ready, when you are safe from getting pregnant. Spencer says it means that none of the involved parties will wake up with regrets after hooking up. Amor is saying safe sex is making safe decisions before sex. Mskize Magufuli. And we have a couple more comments here. Mojatatu family saying safe sex means no STDs, early baby mama drama, no HIV, stress, etc., etc. What does safe sex mean to you?
Personally, I think safe sex to me means you have to think about the future. Those 15 minutes of that heated passion can change your entire life. In terms of if you get pregnant, if you pick up an STD, or if you maybe get something like HIV/AIDS. So you really have to think about the future before you get into anything. Take care of yourself. Wear a condom, simply.
A lot of people watching are at the age where, you know, you kind of go with the flow. You're not yet quite at the point where you're making your own decisions. It's cooler for you to kind of go with what everyone else is doing. And if you hear all your friends talking about sex all the time and how they got laid last night and oh, no them and all this, you kind of go with that flow. So how do you talk to that person to tell them about safe sex?
And I think that's why we're here today, because that's exactly what Kuatru is about. Kuatru is about being your own person, saying that this is what I want and this is what I don't want. Kuatru is saying I'm not ready for sex, and if my partner is not feeling that vibe, I'm okay with walking. If I ask my partner, let's get tested before we start out having sex, and they don't want to get tested, I'm out, and that's it. I think that's where it all starts.
What about yourself, Mas?
I'll still go back to, I don't believe the hype. Like, the way people talk about sex, at the end of the day, it will all be about you. You might believe the hype and have unprotected sex because maybe it's the cool thing that guys are doing, but at the end of the day, the consequences will lie with you. So the biggest advice I'd give to any young person around, don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
Just think twice before you get yourself into
And
it.
on hype, something else I've noticed about these young people, the loudest dude is the one who's getting the least action. All the time.
It's the loudest dude. Dudes are the nyamaza guy. That's why I'm the loudest dude. But also, just as a Kenyan society, there's a lot of backlash that comes with openly talking about sex. How did you become so comfortable to the point that you have a podcast? You have these hashtags going. You just seem very comfortable.
Actually, when I started verbal intercourse, I remember I had sat down with guys, my age mates, and they were talking freely about sex, and I realized girls actually want to talk about sex, but they just don't know how to do it, and they only want to talk about it around people they're comfortable with. Online really is like a blindsided platform. So if I'm going to have these conversations here, no one knows me, I don't know you, I don't know your preferences. So if we're going to talk about, say, for example, kissing, your worst experience, people came up and started tweeting all these things, and every night when I did these conversations, it was a trending topic until the next day.
And you find out you're not alone.
Yes.
In
and you realize, like, even the shy ones would just come into my inbox and say, please ask about this, talk about this, I'm going through this and this and this, what can I do? My partner does this and this, what can I do to make it better? And just there and then I realized there's actually people who want to talk about sex and how they're experiencing it and how they don't want to have it. So I just continue to carry on with the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you have your podcast courtesy of Kuwa True involved in there. We're almost out of time. I want to take final comments from each of you just about this movement and about just encouraging young people to really, as you've both said, think for yourself, think about the consequences and be your own person. So I'll start with you, Mas.
Kuwa True is a movement about making sex not a taboo anymore. I know we're born in Africa, we grew up here, and sex is in the conversation you kind of have with your peers and people who are older than you, but you want to change the narrative. You want people to talk about sex openly, because honestly, it does more good than harm. I want people to understand the consequences, what sex means, what the future holds when you have unprotected sex. Just by the time you're making your decisions, at least have all the information in it.
Absolutely. Final comments.
Kuwa True is keeping yourself safe without being ashamed. Going to the shop and getting your own condom without fear. You know, you don't have to go to the supermarket and start picking chocolates yet you wanted a condom.
Looking around.
Yeah, who's looking at you. Going to Mama Johnny's kiosk and waiting for everyone to leave so that you can be able to ask for your condom. There's no shame in protecting yourself, and I think that needs to be said out loudly, because kids out there are having sex and some of them are having unprotected sex, which is not right. So it's very important, and that's why if you look at the Kuwa True brand, it's a fun brand. It's a young people brand. The colors, the scents, the ribbed, the studded, they're all like that so that you can embrace the brand, and it's a fun brand. So even when you go out there to buy your condom, you look cool and you protect yourself looking cool.
No, Kuwa True.
Yes, Kuwa True.
I'm going to ask you your social media handles.
At Queen Gathoni on Twitter.
All right.
21 and over. Thank you.
21 and over. All right.
My Twitter, Instagram @Moas with an underscore at the end.
All right. Thank you both for being here. I want us to give them a hand, but I also want us in unison to say Kuwa True. All right, give them a hand. Thank you. Thank you both for being here and for having this open discussion with us. Hopefully we will continue this Kuwa True conversation in our shows to come. Right now I'm going to cross over to check out Willett Abu. He's standing by with some trending topics next.